Debt collectors once broke fingers. Now they send letters. What changed everything? We're taught that modern debt collection is professional, regulated, bounded by law. Courts oversee it. Agencies are licensed. There are rules about calling times and language. The story goes, civilization progressed, violence was replaced by paperwork, and creditors learned to collect through courts instead of fists. It's a clean narrative. It's also incomplete. For most of human history, debt collection was personal, violent, and entirely legal. Ancient Rome had nexum, a practice where debtors who couldn't pay became property, sometimes slaves of their creditors. Medieval Europe normalized debtors' prisons. A person owed money. Lock them in a cell until family paid. No trial required. The creditor's claim was the law. America inherited this. Through the 1800s and into the 1900s, debt collection looked like a protection racket, hired muscle, intimidation. A knock on the door at 3 a.m. wasn't rare, it was standard. Wage garnishment happened without notice. Arrest for debt remained legal in many states well into the 20th century. The system assumed, if you owed, the creditor owned the right to take whatever they wanted. But here's the fracture. The Great Depression shattered that logic. Millions owed debts through no moral failing, the economy collapsed, jails overflowed, families starved. Creditors realized you can't extract blood from stone. Violence stopped working when there was nothing to take. And suddenly, lawmakers listened. The Fair Debt Collection Practices Act of 1977 didn't emerge from goodness. It emerged from chaos. Decades of consumer complaints, abusive practices, and documented harassment created political pressure. The law drew hard lines. No threats, no calls before 8 a.m. or after 9 p.m. No contact with employers, no false representation. It codified restraint not because restraint was moral, but because unrestrained collection was destabilizing the credit system itself. What actually changed wasn't human nature. It was incentive structure. Creditors discovered that sustainable debt collection requires a functioning borrower. Dead or imprisoned debtors produce nothing. Debtors with some income, some dignity, some hope, those keep the system alive. The law formalized what economics demanded, that cruelty was inefficient. Today's regulations aren't a victory over greed. They're a compromise between extraction and sustainability. Collection agencies still operate. They're just required to do it within legal bounds. The system hasn't become kind. It's become rational. And that distinction matters. Understanding this history shows us that consumer protections exist not because creditors became generous, but because the alternative was systemic collapse. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research. Subscribe to explore more hidden architecture in the systems that move money. There's a new mechanism every week. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research.